Welcome back to the Malaysia Money Matters Show. It's the 19th of November, 25.
Great to be here.
Today, we're going to try and connect some of these big corporate moves we're seeing with the wider policy shifts that are really shaping the economy.
And we should probably start with Dialog Group. They've just made a massive play in the oil and gas sector.
A deal with BP Singapore, right?
Exactly. They're going to more than double the capacity of their Phase 3 Pengerang terminals. It's a huge expansion.
So we're talking about adding, what, another 614,000 cubic meters to get them up to 1 million by mid-2028?
That's the one. And this really, solidifies their whole midstream strategy. It's all about building that recurring income base for the long haul.
Making Pengerang a genuine Asia-Pacific hub.
It sends a very strong signal that they're ready to compete.
Okay, so shifting from energy to real estate, you have to talk about IGB.
Oh, this is a fascinating one. They're buying the old movie animation park studios site up in Perak.
Right, and the price is just, it's staggering. I mean, the original developer spent something like RM 520 million on that theme park before it went under.
And IGB is picking it up for RM 43.65 million. It's less than 10 cents on the dollar.
That is what you call an opportunistic buy.
Absolutely. And they're not repeating the same mistake. They're avoiding the theme park business altogether and just pivoting to what they do best, a commercial mixed-use development.
Smart. Now let's look at earnings, because we saw a really sharp contrast this quarter that tells a story about government policy. First up, Seng Capital.
Their third quarter net profit more than halved.
Wow.
And you can draw a straight line from that drop to one single event. The government completely removing egg subsidies on August 1st.
So even though their sales volume was actually stronger, the loss of that subsidy just wiped out their bottom line.
It just couldn't absorb that hit.
But then on the flip side, you've got Malayan flour mills. Their net profit jumped almost fivefold in the same quarter.
A completely different story. For them, it was all about global commodities.
Lower wheat prices.
Exactly. It slashed their input costs. Plus, their other ventures, like the Indonesian flour milling and the domestic poultry JVs, they both swung back to profitability. It was a perfect storm, but a good one for them.
All right, let's talk consumers. British American Tobacco is hiking prices again.
Yep. Dunhill packs are going up to RM 18.20. It's a direct result of that 2 cents per stick excise duty increase.
And this is the classic dilemma, isn't it? The government wants the tax revenue, but every price hike pushes more people towards the illicit market.
It's a huge problem. BAT even said that while they see the tax adjustment as a positive, historically it just helps the illegal trade grow. And that market is already at 54% of all consumption.
54%. That's just incredible.
It is.
Okay, and quickly on the finance side, RCE Capital saw a small profit bump.
A modest 5.3% increase. They're really looking at the recent Bank Negara rate cut as a good thing for them. It should ease their funding costs, and they're expecting, continued strong financing demand from their core base, which is civil servants.
Got it. So let's pull back and look at the bigger picture, starting with data privacy. There's been an important update.
A very important one. All the mobile network operators in Malaysia are now only giving aggregated statistical data to the MCMC.
So just to be clear for everyone, what does that actually mean?
It means no raw user data. No personally identifiable information is being shared. It's a key data protection measure.
But the government can still use that big picture data for policymaking.
Yes, for things like ICT and tourism planning. They get the insights they need for evidence-based policy, but, without compromising individual privacy.
Okay, that's a good step. Now, on the investment front, the numbers look pretty strong.
Very strong. RM 285.2 billion approved in the first 9 months of this year. That's a 13.2% jump.
With Singapore as the top foreign investor. And Mia Lida, the investment agency, was highlighting the boom in hyperscale data centers.
Right, and the key insight there is what it means for SMEs. Well, all these new data centers actually lower the cost of things like cloud computing, which makes it way cheaper for smaller businesses to adopt Industry 4.0 tech. It's a big deal.
But there are always risks. DBS flagged U.S. chip tariffs as a potential problem for Malaysia's outlook.
It's a major external risk. And, it ties into this bigger debate about Asians' role. An economist recently said that Asians' influence beyond just preventing conflict is probably overestimated.
That's a pretty sharp critique.
It is, but you can see the point. There isn't always great policy alignment across the member states on big issues, whether that's illicit trade or geopolitics. That lack of cohesion makes it harder to stand up to major external pressures like those U.S. tariffs.
Which brings us to governance at home. The Prime Minister confirmed a slate of major reform bills are coming.
4 of them. We're talking about an ombudsman, a Freedom of Information Act, political funding, and crucially, separating the powers of the Attorney General and the public prosecutor.
They're expected to be tabled next year.
That's the plan, along with tweaks to the Whistleblower Protection Act. This is all aimed squarely at improving Malaysia's ranking on the Corruption Perceptions Index.
It seems like it all comes together then. The government is trying to build this stable, trustworthy foundation.
That companies need to make those big long-term investments we talked about earlier.
So we've seen everything today, from how a single subsidy change can hammer a company's earnings to these huge strategic plays meant to secure Malaysia's future. The big question for you to think about is this. Can these major institutional reforms at home move fast enough to keep up with the volatility of the global markets?
A very good question.
Make sure you subscribe to the Malaysia Money Matters podcast for more deep dives into the news that moves your money. Hey there, thanks for tuning in. If you would like a deeper dive into all the investment opportunities from today's news, subscribe to my newsletter at moneymatters.substack.com. I will be sharing a deeper analysis of the key investment opportunities from today's news, including what makes these opportunities stand out and how they fit into the broader market trends. By subscribing to the Malaysia Money Matters newsletter, you will also get exclusive insights on my watch list and portfolio and fundamental reports on Malaysian listed companies.